Blessings to you. Welcome to Director's Chair. I am your host, Jere B. On this show, we highlight and feature independent filmmakers from our local region and from all over the world. Our heart is to bring the director, who is usually behind the scenes, to the forefront to share their vision and art. And featured on today's show are two award-winning filmmakers. There's Adam Michael, the founder of Candid Life Entertainment and the Youngstown Film Festival. And if I've done my homework correctly, he has 20 films to his credit as director. And Josh Menning of Menning Films, who, again, if I've done my homework, has directed 12 movies. But here's the thing. They have been very active as producers, writers, cinematographers, editors, and everything else needed to complete the project. Is that right, gentlemen? That's about it, huh?
Welcome to indie filmmaking.
That's right.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Director's Chair, Adam and Josh. It's so great having the two of you on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, it's really great.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're going to have some fun. I said it's going to be akin to interrogation, but not really. Okay, just a little bit. We do want to find out more about you, but let's begin with Adam, because I don't think Adam's a native Youngstowner. At least that's the news I get. You're from New Jersey, is that right?
The news is correct. Yes, I'm from New Jersey initially, and then I really kind of lived all over the country. I worked a corporate job for 12 years. I didn't come right out of the gate as a filmmaker. Like a lot of people, I worked a corporate job for many, many years, lived all over the country from DC to California, and then settled here in Ohio. My partner's family is here in Ohio. So many years ago, we kind of settled here, and here we are.
Well, that's wonderful. Now I understand that you were in Cleveland for a while, and then you chose our area. And I love our area, but I'm just wondering, from an outsider's perspective, what was the rationale?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, which is funny. But yeah, no, I was in Cleveland for years. I love Cleveland, amazing city, as anybody in the filmmaking world knows. So many films are shot in and around Cleveland. It mocks for kind of major cities. And it's just a great area with really great people. I can't say enough good things about the area. But we had a lot of people that we knew in this area, the Youngstown area. It's amazingly kind of located between like Cleveland and Pittsburgh and Columbus. And it's kind of right in the middle of so many great kind of film communities. So, we thought that it would be great to kind of settle down here. Cost of living is really nice in this area. So that's a huge one because we're adults. And so we kind of settled down here and we absolutely love it here. Yeah, we really like the area a lot.
Well, that's fantastic, because I think the first time that I met you was last year at the Youngstown Film Festival.
Yeah.
And I did not know, A, that the film festival existed, B, that there were great, incredible movies being shot right here in our own backyard. So tell me, what was your vision for putting the film festival together, and what type of undertaking is that? Because we were there 2 days.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. When I initially got into it, it wasn't because I said, I need to start a film festival. I said, let me look up what film festivals are in our area so I can attend them. And I looked it up and there really wasn't any. And I was really astonished by that, because I knew that we had a filmmaking community. I knew that there were filmmakers in the area. So I just kind of took the steps to start the film festival myself. I have had absolutely amazing support from the city of Youngstown. I've had incredible support from filmmakers in our community, in our backyard, saying to me, how can I help you? Let me know what I can do. I've had people come from Columbus, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, like all over, just to help with the festival. I have judges from all around the area, and it's just been an incredible outpouring of support from, in particular, the city of Youngstown themselves, just really backing it and really putting kind of a lot of weight behind it. And, we're getting films submitted from all over the country, internationally. We've been able to show films that aren't showing on the big screens necessarily and aren't getting the huge premieres and stuff, but are genuine, incredible works. And we're getting to show those films to people and make connections with people and connecting people together. And it's genuinely just like one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
Well, I sat there for both days, if you can remember.
I do,
took a
I
spot in
do,
the
I do.
corner, and I was really transfixed by the work that I saw for the 2 days. So this is going to continue here in 24. When is the next one?
Yeah. Thank you. October 19th of 2024 is going to be the next Youngstown Film Festival. It's going to be downtown in the heart of Youngstown. And like I said, we already have support from so many filmmakers, so many businesses in the area. The city of Youngstown itself, I can't say enough of how much they're backing us. And we've already gotten films submitted, like I said, all over the country, internationally. We've gotten films from students in college that it's their first time making a film. We've gotten amazing films that have a budget of like, I'm not joking, like $100, and people just doing everything themselves and going all in themselves. And the other day we got a film with a budget of $300,000. So we're getting films that really kind of run the indie range, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the arts to this area, and we're trying to highlight local filmmakers, which is why we have a Youngstown area category where it's free to submit. If you made the film in the Youngstown area, it's free to submit, and you can have your work highlighted on the big screen.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you for doing that. Wow. I mean, because I didn't even know that it was happening. So God bless you for making that new tent peg in our community. But let's talk about you as a filmmaker a little bit. Did I do my homework correctly? Is there 20 films that you have done?
That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds right, which is wild to hear out loud. When you've been doing this and you feel like it's kind of your whole life and you just want to do the best job possible, and then you hear that many films, I'm like, oh wow, have I done that many? But yeah, that sounds about right.
Amazing. And you began by doing film shorts, or I want to talk about Shredded in a minute, but I wanted to know, because you said you worked in the corporate world and whatnot, what was the bug? Is there a director's bug like there is an actor's bug? I mean, what happens?
Yeah, I've loved film my whole life. I've been a movie geek my whole life, and obsessed with film, not just like what you see on the screen, but what goes behind it. Who shot that, who edited it, who did this and that. I just was always obsessed with it. I worked in the corporate world, and I remember one night, literally, I was talking about a film and how I would have done this differently or that differently. My partner just said to me, well, why don't you make a movie then? And I went, oh, but I don't know how to do that, and I don't have a camera. And she said, very just kind of like straightforward, like, well, you talk about this a lot and you have ideas, so just why don't you do it? And I thought, she's right. So I bought the cheapest camera I could find on Amazon. I bought the cheapest lights. It was a silent film. I had two of my friends do it in a restaurant that donated the space to me after they closed one day. I shot a silent film in one day, and it did really well in a whole bunch of film festivals. And I went, oh, maybe I got something here. And that's what started it. My first, I want to say maybe 10 films I made were short films. And then I said, all right, it's time to make a feature, and we'll see how that goes. It did very, very well in the film festival circuit. And, fast forward all the way to now, and here we are.
My goodness gracious. Well, we saw each other just last week down in Columbiana. We used to call it the Columbiana Main Street Theater, but it's the Cultural Collective, if I'm not mistaken. And you premiered Shredded.
Yeah.
Gripping film, bro.
Thank you.
Mani, tell us a little bit about it, how it got started.
Thank you so much. We were really happy to have you there. It was an incredible night and experience, and I really feel like I can't talk about Shredded without specifically talking about Michaela McIntosh. She is my partner in the whole process. She was the creator of the film. She came to me with the idea, and I said no right away, because the two main characters, it's about two people that are kind of broken strangers, and they meet in a group surfing class, and their friendship allows them to begin the process of healing through what they're going through. And Michaela, is a phenomenal actor, and she played essentially herself. She was a professional dancer. She suffered a devastating injury and had to pivot her life. And the other character is going through breast cancer. And that was my story. About 8.5 years ago, I had breast cancer, and I had never publicly talked about the story. And so I didn't think I was ready. And she didn't push me or anything, but we had a lot of conversations, and then I realized this was the time. And, so I always say, if you're going to get somebody to play you, get a better looking version of yourself. So Anthony Dean, who is a phenomenal actor based out of Columbus, He played me, and both of them just did an incredible job. And we were so thrilled. And the Columbiana Cultural Collective immediately said, yes, we would love to show your film. They supported us 100% and they backed us. And a whole bunch of people from the community, including yourself, showed up to celebrate the film. And we were honored to have it there. And I was so happy that you came out to celebrate it with us.
I was grateful for the invitation. In fact, Michaela sent me an invite on Facebook, and I had seen her in the film festival. I'm trying to think of the title of the film. I saw her. Oh man, it was just as gripping. But here's the thing I want to say, and then I want to actually play the trailer because I want everyone else to dig it too, Adam. But here's the thing. To me, I don't know much about movies. I've tried to act like that much, right? But here's the thing. When you have just a couple of characters that have to carry the arc of the film, you had some great supporters, but those two really were able to carry that storyline from beginning to end and not lose me 1 second.
Yeah.
What were you thinking as you were just kind of observing the dynamic between the two?
Yeah, it was amazing because Michaela and Anthony have worked together before. I have done projects where I've had them on the screen together before. So I already knew that they had chemistry, they had a friendship. And I really like films that are essentially just one giant conversation. You think of films recently that have done very well that are kind of like that style, that are films that I love, like, Parasite or Portrait of a Lady on Fire or Nomadland or Past Lives. Essentially, those films are just one giant conversation. And, this film takes place over the course of a week, and it's just two people opening up to each other and getting to know each other. And I needed two actors that could carry that. It's so much dialogue. It's they both have monologues that are essentially 4 or 5 pages long of just them talking. And it was so much dialogue. And I really think Michaela and Anthony are both just compelling actors that can hold the screen. And they're able to use body language and tone of voice, and just like how they performed was unbelievable. And, directing on set, I was the director and the DP of the film. And, along with writing it with Michaela and producing it with her. And just kind of the collaboration the three of us had was really unbelievable. Every single day after filming, we lived in the same place together after filming, every day. So we would just communicate about that day, the next day. And our conversations were so raw and so open and so honest. And it really just kind of allowed us to all do it together. It was a true team effort. We had an amazing crew, an incredible supporting cast. And everybody says, oh, it was like a family. We all still talk to each other. We've worked on projects since then together. Like, we really became like a family on that set. And it was really amazing.
Wow. Well, I would love to play the trailer right now. Is that cool with you?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
People want to say that the scars and the pain should be reminders that you're still alive, but it isn't a reminder that we're still alive. It's more like a reminder.
How hard it is to keep living.
I'm Logan. What's your name?
Riley.
So, how long have you been surfing?
Is this gonna be some 20-question examination of my life, or do you think I'll actually get to read in peace?
I was just wondering if you came up with that or if it came from your book.
All me.
That was quick and witty.
I saw you out here and I thought I'd give you this. I found journaling really helped me when I was going through some tough things, and I thought it might help you too. Because I've seen that look before. That look where you feel lost, hurt, in pain.
I found out I would never dance again. Not professionally. Not like I did.
I didn't have surgery because of an accident or an injury. I have cancer. I had cancer.
It's given to us all.
I see others are going through it. I just want to reach out and tell them.
Tell them what?
I'll get better.
But she didn't quit, no matter how hard it was or how frustrated she got. To our friend that never gave up.
Survey says.
Scrub is a dumb game anyway.
When I'm surfing, nothing else matters. I mean, when I'm out in that water, on that board, it feels really good.
What an amazing trailer that was, and what an amazing movie, man. How do you feel, Adam, when you watch that?
It's a lot, to be perfectly honest. I essentially put myself and the most traumatic thing I've been through on screen for the whole world to see. So it's a lot, but genuinely, I'm incredibly proud of the film. I'm proud of everybody involved, and I'm proud of myself, to be perfectly honest, because it's a story that I hadn't told for 8 years, and now here I am putting it on the screen, right? So it brings up a lot of emotions, but I think it's genuinely a great piece of work, and I'm really proud of it.
Absolutely. Now, what happens with the movie from here? I mean, do you get it in different theaters, or is it going to, Amazon, or what's
Yeah. So we're going to have premieres in different areas. We're going to have one in New York because so much of the film was shot in New York on Rockaway Beach. And then we would love to have one hopefully in Vancouver because we have a lot of people that were involved in the film that were in Canada, based out of Canada. And Canada is very supportive of the filmmaking process. And then it will be available for streaming, yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I have to ask you one more question, and then we'll bring Josh into the conversation. But, what did you find other than the challenge of putting your heart out for everyone to know your story? What was the most rewarding thing about this film?
The most rewarding thing for me, truly, not just saying this, I wholeheartedly mean this, was bringing two completely separate groups of people together. Michaela had a whole team of people that she knew of cast and crew. I had a whole team of people that I knew. And we brought people together, and those people have connected and made projects and made films together. And the pictures that we have from set and the videos and the outtakes and the bloopers and everything, like everybody was laughing and smiling and joking. And even when people didn't have to hang out together, they spent time together. They had meals together. We watched movies together. We listened to music together. We cried together during some scenes that were really intense. It was bringing together so many amazing people, and then seeing what they've done since then. And people showing up to the premiere and having an emotional reaction, and people just being really excited to be a part of it was absolutely the best thing about it.
Amazing. Well, listen, I appreciate your gift and your contribution to the arts, and especially our Valley. Please don't go anywhere, because I want to have a little conversation with Josh, and then we'll bring us all back in. Is that cool, Adam?
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. That's Adam Michael, and this is Josh Menning Films, who I am just beginning to know, and I'm very grateful. We have a mutual friend in Jim Kokenauer, our musical compadre. But man, I am really, let me just start out, Josh, by saying this, really blown away by the work that you did. I think it was Angel Mine that I saw of yours. Boom! What are you doing, man? Great film.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I mean that's that film is a whole big package in there, because it was the author Jimmy Tape. It's based on his true story that happened with his wife who passed away, and so he wrote the book. And I knew her personally, and I knew them even before this. So I went to her funeral. I actually shot a wedding with her. So it was more than just shooting a film. I got to dive into the emotions that came with with that after she passed away. And so with Angel Mine, in most of the films that I've done up to this point have been somewhat of faith-based films, and so Angel Mine technically really in the story context wasn't a faith-based film, but I wanted to show the presence of God there in the scene. So instead of spitting scriptures out at you and trying to make these metaphors and these relations, I tried to use the cinematography and the lighting to kind of show God's presence in these scenes. So which I felt was very important, as we're taking these two people that found out that their spouses passed away on the same exact day. They met in a train ride from New York to Pittsburgh. So I got to hear the true stories that they talked about. And so how do we pack this all into a film and not make it so dark and gloomy, and because it's a heavy subject. So I'm honored to to be able to bring Jimmy's story to the screen and to actually share it with people, and for people to see that it doesn't matter what challenges you're going through. There's always a side to get through. There's always people there. There's always a way to get out of a situation. So that was one of the main goals with this story is, yes, let's dive into the grief. Let's get there. Let's go there. But let's not stay there. Let's pull people out and show people that, yeah, as two become one, and sometimes that the other one passes away as life goes. At that point, you have to redefine who you are as a person, because you've identified with that person for so long, or maybe even short amount of time. But then now you have to redefine who you are and find that confidence and to really pull you out of that situation.
Absolutely. Well, you did it well. And let me tell you, I know I'm jumping in at the tail end of what it is in many films that are out. I need to ask you, I know I have more questions for you than I have time to ask, but you are an Ohio native, right? You are out somewhere buried in the Columbiana area.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you started your life as a filmmaker. I mean, what happened? How did you become so brilliant? And I mean that wholeheartedly.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate those kind words. Really, I never had any experience in, I didn't go to film school. I didn't have any formal training, but my wife and I, who's right here, we started a wedding photography company back in 2011. Again, we didn't have any experience. We had our engagement photos. We loved the experience that we had with our photographers, and we're like, we can do this. So just went online, read a whole bunch of stuff, started taking photos, and then something kind of hit me. And I love movies growing up, and she actually used to work at Movie Gallery and Family Videos, so she loved movies. So I'm like, well, what if we shoot a film? So I wrote a short film based on some local legends down in East Liverpool. It was called Gretchen's Lock, and it was a short film. We shot it in 3 days. I remember going out, we were about to film, and I'm looking at the 5 actors, and I'm looking at a crew of 20 people, and I thought to myself, I have no idea what I'm doing. So we just kind of rolled with it, and after the first couple takes, everything just started picking up steam, and so we were able to film it in 3 days. We had the premiere, two back-to-back showings at the theater there in Columbiana, now the Cultural Collective. And back-to-back showings were sold out. I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to this. So I went on to write my first feature, and then from there had a lot of success with that. And then another filmmaker invited me to go out to LA and co-direct and film another movie with him that we mainly shot in San Diego, also shot in Beverly Hills with Eric Roberts, and Ron Jeremy made a guest appearance in it as well. Then from there, it just I started to make some networking and some contacts through the International Christian Film Festival, where I did a documentary on individuals who overcame heroin addiction. So I was nominated for Best Director, and I met some incredible people there. Got connected with PureFlix and with Karen Abercrombie and Shannon Fields and Maggie Jenny and everybody down the line, which has been really great with getting that talent pulled into some of those films. So yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I didn't really plan on this. I didn't grow up saying, hey, I want to be a filmmaker. It just it kind of happened. And you talk about the bug, the filmmaking bug. It bit me hard, and it was strong. And it's like you do one, and you just want to keep doing more. And then and as far as my productions go, I keep trying to take the level up each production that I can. So some bigger budgets, some bigger ambitious type of films. So that's kind of a little story in a nutshell.
Well, that's amazing. Now, do you consider that you are a writer first or a director first? Because you're kind of telling the story from both lenses, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I definitely say I'm a director first. As far as the films that I've done, I'm probably less than half I've actually written. But yeah, I find my passion is where I can see a story and pick that story apart and determine how we're going to make that happen on the screen and make it make sense, and then carry those themes throughout, making sure we're hitting those arcs so we're telling a compelling story. And you know entertainment is a thing in itself, but my goal is to really find something along the story that's going to hit people hard, and that's really that they can really question with, wrestle with, reflect into themselves and the situations that they're going on, and then find a way to carry them through the next stage, or to maybe shed light on something and make them see something maybe a little bit different, so that they're not just watching a film, they're experiencing it, and they can take that experience and have life change or inspire others.
Wow. Well, now, did I do my homework correctly? Do you have 12 movies under your belt?
I'm bad at this. I always lose count.
I counted
it's
12.
probably around that. Yeah, about right.
And I like the way you said, as far as your production is concerned, to advance, and with Gretchen's Lock, not pretty much knowing what you do, but how do you prepare now as a director, since you have that experience? I mean, do you have the blueprints? You work with the same crew? Everybody has a template? What generally happens?
Yeah, so over the course of the past 8 years, you start to work with some people that you really connect with, and I'm similar in a situation with Adam, that I'm usually the director, producer. I also the DP and editor. So once you find that group of people that can really see your vision and understand your vision, some of the grip and gaffers, and I can talk to them about lighting or say something and hardly even say it, and they know what to adjust and where it's going. And even some of the actors that I've worked with, I know if they're on, they're going to bring a really solid performance. And so it's been great to work with some of the same people, and even new people. I worked with Adam for the first time on Gemini, on another film that we did last April. So yeah, it was great to work with him and just to see his passion and the way that he kind of pulls things apart. It's just it's great to see other filmmakers and how they work, because again, I'm coming from a background that I haven't had formal training other than the courses and things that I've read online. But yeah, it's just great to see the filmmaking community in this area and the vibrance that is bringing to this area, and just the incredible talent that people have. So
Absolutely. Well, unlike Adam, you sent a reel in with a lot of the highlights that you've done. You want to talk a little bit about that, and then I'd love to air that for people to see.
Sure. Yeah. So at this point, so we released Angel Mind a little while ago. So now I'm in between a couple of different projects. I'm trying to get some things in motion as far as some investments. One is a neo-noir film called Upon a Midnight Clear, which is a unique modern retelling of the birth of the Messiah set in a noir style. So that's one that I'm trying to find investors for. And then another film that I'm working on it's based on a guy in the area, Philip Albenzi, who became a bodybuilder and has an incredible story. So we're working on some funding with that. Again, both of those films will be shot here in the area. Be incredible backdrop. So with this reel that I have, it's just kind of an overview. Some of the actors I've worked with, some of the different. I tried to show some of the emotional sides of things, and then also I found out that I'm really a visual director, so to really pull on that a lot with this reel. But yeah, just basically a highlight of kind of where I've come the past few years.
That's excellent. Well, let's take a look at it right now, and then we'll talk about it some more.
Sure.
Man, that was pretty exciting. You have a lot of different genres under your belt already.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the dramas are always, kind of the more popular ones that are produced because even on a smaller scale budget, if you can really focus on that story and find people to really bring that story to life, then it's an easy thing to do with drama. But really, I think my passion is psychological thrillers or thrillers. So there's a twist in there with Beast of Our Fathers, which was a psychological thriller and about FBI agent trying to find the murders of what's going on in this town. That's where it's all Bigfoot. So it's a quite interesting film. But yeah, just try to get a variety. Again, I mainly do dramas, and I would love to do more thrillers. But yeah,
That's amazing. And you mentioned you did a little name dropping here, but I have to ask about Karen Abercrombie. I mean, what's it like to work with someone who brings such poise to set?
Yeah, that's a great word. So if you've seen her in the films that she's been on, talking to her in real life, she just has a way that she commands a room. Her presence, and she's so wonderful. She's so kind. I talk to her almost probably every week just to kind of keep each other up to date what's going on with different projects. But her professionalism when she comes to set, she's been on some bigger productions here and there, but even whenever she's on, even if it's for one scene, she just brings it all. And she just leaves everybody on the set just like in awe, just watching her performance. But then again, off screen, she's just such a wonderful person to talk with. She has a strong love for my littlest child and all my other kids, and she calls her a little princess. So, but yeah, it's great talking with her all the time and just hearing her story. Not so much just the movies and stuff that's going on, but hearing some of the personal things. And so yeah, she's just such a wonderful person that had the privilege of meeting and back in 2018. So.
That's beautiful. I want to bring Adam back in, if you don't mind, because I have a couple questions for both of you. I know that you've worked together on several projects, so perhaps you can answer this question. If there was a young filmmaker who's watching this right now, what would be the first piece of advice that you would say to him or her about getting their business together and marrying it to their art?
Josh, you want to take
don't
this
talk
to start?
At once. I was going to say, don't talk at once.
I was going to say, I'll take this because it's kind of coming from I was in a similar situation. But, I would say find a filmmaker that you really like and copy exactly what they do until you start to find your own style. And as far as the business side of things, I mean, there are different attorneys that can help you as far as the organizations if you need that. Again, we live in the world of technology and AI and all of that stuff that can kind of start to get the introduction of, sculpting a business plan and all of that. So the information is out there. You just have to go and find it. Watch all the tutorials that you can. Find directors of photography, find directors, producers, actors, everybody that the people that are telling you the stories that you love, the way that they're filming, the way that they're directing. Find those people and just try to model them. And again, like I said, until you find your style, but you can still pull from that database that you've built up.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Well, maybe you can answer this question, or maybe Adam can. But I know that the two of you look at films from your own viewpoint. What do you think makes a good film? Like, I know as a musician what makes a good song: rhythm, melody, strong hook, those things. But are there components to film that says, yes, this is absolutely essential, this has to be in the film for it to be, quote unquote, good? Don't talk at once.
Should I go first while I'm not frozen? Perfect. So it's interesting because every single person is different. Everybody loves different things. Everybody connects to stories in different ways. So I don't know if there's one universal component except for the story. Obviously good sound. You can forgive everything else before you good sound, but it's the story and it's the audience that you're trying to connect with. Whether you're trying to connect with a very particular audience or a wide audience or whatever it may be, it's the story, and everything starts with the story. Before you do casting, before you have a crew, before you do locations, before any of that matters, you have to have a story that somebody will be interested in. So I say it's, a story, and whether it's for 10 people or 50 million people, it's the story.
Excellent. You agree, Josh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's your Bible. That's your starting point. That's where everything comes from. So you have a compelling story. Then the next steps are, who are you going to have to tell this story on screen? So, definitely another important step. And again, yeah, the technical things. Yes, sound is definitely key up there. Cinematography, it could be fudged here and there, but definitely the next step after you have this compelling story is to find these actors. Again, depending on where your budget is, or if you've worked with people in the past that that they're the right one for this story to really tell it, to breathe this character to life, to take this audience on a journey. And for me, that's one of the parts of what I think makes a great film, is if you're able to connect with either the main character or the other characters or the story. And if you're able to go through this journey and see things maybe differently, or to be moved in some way at the end and look back and really appreciate that journey that you've been on, to me, that makes a great movie.
Excellent. I have one more question for the two of you. As independent filmmakers, how do you handle the stress of the business of filmmaking, the fundraising, dealing with producers and things like that, while being so focused on the art that it takes to draw out the performance of your characters?
Yeah, I think it takes a very particular kind of person, to be honest. Josh is definitely one of those people. I've gotten to work with Josh, and I've gotten to see him work, and I've gotten to see his work. And he's a phenomenal filmmaker, and he knows how to talk to people on set. And one of the things that I actually will say that I know how to do is the same thing. I know how to talk to people. I know how to engage with people. And when I'm on set, I know how to convey what I want. And I feel like how to get that, and how to maximize the potential in every single person, cast and crew on set. But you have to start with passion. If you love this and you want it, you will figure out a way how to do everything else and make it work. If you do not have a love for this, I do not think you can be successful. You have to love this, at least in our indie filmmaking world, in our little area, in the kind of greater Youngstown area. And I've gotten connected with so many amazing people, Cindy, Melanie, Josh, just these amazing people in the area. So yeah, passion.
That's beautiful. What do you think, Josh? Did he hit it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a great answer. I'm not sure what else to say, but and it's definitely a balance. Coming from the independent world where you're wearing pretty much every hat, to really hone in on that story. And yeah, there are technical things, there's money issues, and what I found, and especially in Song of the Tree Frogs, we were about to film. We were about 2 weeks away, and we still didn't have all the funds raised. So. But I felt so strong with the cast that we had with the story that I just went for it, and we were able to get the funding. So, that is one thing I think is strong, is like just what Adam's saying, is just going out and doing it. If you believe in the story, you believe that you're out there for a purpose, to tell this story so that people can see, there's going to be a way, God will provide some way. You might have a budget of $500,000, but you might shoot the film for $10,000. It's just if you feel that strong about the project, you're going to do it.
Man, that's absolutely on point. I'm so very grateful to the two of you. I'm grateful to have stumbled into the Youngstown Film Festival last year to meet Adam and to meet you, because Josh, you were there, I think, the second day I met you. I'm that guy that goes around and shakes hands and introduce myself. I thought the movie, again, Angel Mind, was fantastic. I thought Shred It was on point. You guys are knocking it out of the park. And it's my heart that everybody I know knows you. And so thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
It's my delight. Many blessings to the two of you. That's going to do it for this edition of Director's Chair. Thank you for joining us once again for our wonderful filmmakers, Adam Michael, Candid Life Entertainment, and the Youngstown Film Festival, and Josh Menning of Menning Films. They're making movies in our valleys, but telling stories for the whole world. Now, if you like what you see, make sure that you support them. Spread the word. I'm Jere B., your host for Director's Chair. We will see you next time. God bless.